In the Texas State Legislature? Well, I tell you, as the chairman of the Republican Party of Texas, we had 8 legislative priorities. We had election integrity, monument protection, religious liberty, constitutional carry, to end the practice of murdering unborn children, abortion, to end the practice of child gender modification and those surgeries, school choice, and also taxpayer-funded lobbying. We're very happy that we've got the heartbeat bill across the line, and we're very happy about the constitutional carry. But there are several other bills that we wanted to see get across that finish line. We're still waiting on election integrity. We're still waiting on the monument protection. It seems to be dead. No taxpayer-funded lobbying, no support for school choice. So there are some things that we hope to could have been a little bit better.
Right. There are plenty of Republicans who also say that you guys have gone too far in terms of right legislation that is passed.
So
What do you say to those folks?
when people say you're going too far as right-wing legislation, then why are people leaving failed blue states like California, Illinois, New York, New Jersey, and they're coming to Texas? Texas is a strong, successful, constitutional, conservative red state. So obviously things are going pretty good here in Texas. And when I think about the fact that in Lubbock, you had the citizens that said they wanted to have a sanctuary city for life in Lubbock, Texas. And so now that's the largest sanctuary city for life in the United States of America. I think that's a great thing.
Do you worry that when you look back at Romney wins Texas by 16 points and 12, Trump wins by 9 and 16, he wins by 5, in the presidential election anyway, that margin keeps getting closer and closer?
No,
Do you
I don't worry.
that sessions like this
No.
end up driving away maybe middle of the road voters?
And you know what my dad taught me? I grew up in Georgia. He said the only thing in the middle of the road is roadkill. And I don't want to be roadkill. So I think that right now the most important thing, as it says in the Bible, you either hot or you cold. If you lukewarm, I spew you from my mouth. Right, what you see happening in America is about 2 very different philosophies of governance. You can have constitutional conservatives that respect individual rights, freedoms, and liberties based upon our founding documents, or you can go down the path of progressive socialism. Progressive socialism doesn't work. And I think that when the people understand those 2 divergent philosophies of governance, they're always going to choose constitutional conservatism.
I'll give you a little bit more time. Jim Hightower, a Democrat in Texas, was dead armadillos in the middle of the road.
But yeah, well, once upon a time, Texas had a lot of blue dog Democrats, conservative Democrats. They're a very rare commodity now.
What kind of effect does Donald Trump have on the Texas Republican Party right now?
I don't think it's about Donald Trump having an effect. I'm here with incredible people in Southlake, Texas, because they took it upon themselves at the grassroots level to reject the cultural competency action plan, the whole critical race theory. So I think that what you see happening in Texas and all across the United States of America is people are making the decision. They're going to stand up and fight for their principles and values. Now, I will tell you this about President Trump, and I know him personally, because when I was in Congress, Mar-a-Lago was in the district I was honored to represent, is that he showed Republicans, he showed conservatives that you can stand up and you can push back and you can fight back. Now, there were some people that didn't like that. Maybe some of the tweets were a little bit too over the top, but he showed that there are principles and values that work. And think about where we have come in just what, 4.5 months? I don't think we're on the right path in America, and I think that he showed us the right path for this country. The economic success we had, the energy security we had, our foreign policy was strong, our national security was strong. So you can disagree with President Trump as far as personality or what have you, but when you talk about principles and policies, you can't argue.
Where do you stand now on whether or not the election was stolen in your view?
Without a doubt, and you can try to disagree with it, but there were unconstitutional actions that happened in 5 battleground states. In Georgia, in Pennsylvania, in Wisconsin, in Michigan, and also Arizona. You know, last time I checked, and I'm going to pull out something, maybe you've seen it recently, this Constitution of the United States of America, it says that the only people that can change law, amend law, or make law is the legislative branch. So when you have governors, when you have secretaries of state, when you have judges that are going out and changing election law right up to almost the time of the election, that's unconstitutional. And so those things cannot be debated. There were unconstitutional actions that happened in those 5 states. And some of those states, Republicans did it, such as the Secretary of State in Georgia that went into a consent agreement that we wouldn't have signature verification on mail-in ballots. But we cannot allow that to happen again.
So are you saying the election was stolen in your view?
I'm saying there are unconstitutional actions. that led to nefarious things that happened in the election cycle. Here in the state of Texas, when you have the county clerk of Harris County who tried to mail out 2.7 million unsolicited ballots, who established 9 different curbside voting locations, all in Democrat precincts, clear violations of Texas election law.
Well, that was approved by the Republican Secretary of State.
No, it wasn't.
It was.
No, it wasn't.
Well,
It was against Texas election law.
we'll agree to disagree on that one.
Well, we can do it all we want. But again, what did I just say? Unconstitutional actions. So a Republican Secretary of State cannot do anything to change election law in any state. That should have gone through the legislative branch.
I guess what I'm trying to get to nail you down on is.
You can never nail me
Well,
down.
I'll try. Do you believe that Donald Trump got more votes than Joe Biden?
I believe that there are unconstitutional actions that led to nefarious things that happened in 5 battleground states, and something that could have happened very bad here with mail-in ballots going out.
So-
And that's not debatable.
so that-
You're trying to get me to say words that you want because that's what you do, and I'm telling you from a constitutional perspective, that's what I saw happen.
I'm trying to get you to acknowledge reality, which is.
I did acknowledge the reality that
the problem with
unconstitutional
it is
actions,
there's a lot of,
unconstitutional actions happen in 5 battleground states. That's not debatable. Now the
That's
results.
highly debatable.
Oh, so a Secretary of State in Georgia can go in and have a consent decree to not have signature verifications when the Supreme Court of the United States of America, just about a month ahead of that, had ruled against the South Carolina Democrat Party for signature verifications. You're trying to tell me that judges can go out and change election law and not legislators? That's what I'm talking about,
But
unconstitutional
I think what your
actions.
critics would say what you're doing here is.
I don't
just
have
another-
critics.
Well,
I
you
have
got-
people that don't understand the Constitution, okay?
Pushing what is described as the big lie.
I'm not pushing a big lie. I'm not pushing a big lie. And the fact that the state of Texas joined with 16 other states, because the only court of original jurisdiction when you have unconstitutional actions happening in other states and you have to petition your governor for redress of grievances, that's one of those First Amendment things. It has to go through the Supreme Court. The fact that the Supreme Court abdicated its responsibilities to hear that case, that should be very disturbing to everybody in the United States of America.
And finally, are you running for governor?
I'm running for my health. If you want to join me, it looks like you could.
Do some push-ups.
We can do some push-ups.
All right, appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Thanks.
Yep.